Hey, Miss Gia's class. Welcome to your Monday, May 11th math video. In this video, we're going to talk about rounding to tens. Now, this might be something new for you, and that's totally okay. I'm going to explain it, and obviously we are going to practice when we're in Zoom class together, okay? So if you're telling me, Miss Gia, I don't know what you're talking about, I've never heard of this word before, that's totally okay. I will pretend like we are all new learners. So I'm going to teach you about rounding from step 1, okay? Now, remember that when we have numbers, those numbers have different places. So in year 1, we have learned about numbers like, for example, 17. 17 is made up of 1 10 and 7 ones. 7. So this is 10 plus 7. So when we talk about rounding to the tens, we want to round to this number. So this is the number that will either change or stay the same. Now, before we get there, actually, let me ask you, why would we round to something? Why do we round numbers? Rounding numbers is a way to see if the number is closer to the 10 before or the 10 after. So, for example, if you have money to go shopping and you are buying things, you round up so you make sure you have enough money. Right? Because you don't want to buy things and then not have enough money. That would be bad. When you go to pay, you need to have enough money. So it's a good idea to round up, or to say that something costs more just in case, right? I know, guys, it's all a little confusing, but rounding is used to make an estimate. What is an estimate? Yeah, an estimate is like a guess, but not a random guess. Okay, an estimate is an educated guess. So we are going to try really, really hard to guess using all of the information we have. So we are going to use our brains to round the number so we can have an estimate. Now, let me show you how this is done. Okay, Miss G is going to stop talking about crazy things and we're going to use numbers because I think it's easier to see when we have numbers. Now, let me show you, check out this here, our rounding roller coaster. When we are rounding to the tens, we need to look at the number in the ones place. And that will tell us if our number is going to go higher or if it's going to go lower. All right? So, for example, if the number in the ones is a 4, a 3, a 2, or a 1, it's going to go back. But if the number is a 5, a 6, a 7, an 8, or a 9, the number will go to the next 10. What do I mean by this? Let me show you. If my number is 13, and Miss Gia says, okay guys, I want you to tell me, is 13 closer to 10? Or is it closer to 20? Well, let's look at our roller coaster. What is the number in the ones place? It's a 3. Okay, well that means that we have to go down to the tens. Okay, so 13 is closer to 10 than it is to 20. We can draw this too, right? So let's look. If we have 1 10 and 3 ones, okay, that's how we draw 13. Now, how many ones do we need to get to 20? what do we add to 3 to get to 20? We would have to add 7 more ones. That's right. And that's a lot. That's a lot of numbers to go to 20. It's only 3 numbers away from 10. So we could either add 7 or we could take away 3. What's easier? Taking away 3 or adding 7? So here we could take away 3 and get to 10, or we could add 7 and go to 20. What is easier? Yeah, it's definitely easier to just take away 3 and round down to 10. Okay, let's try with another number. Let's try with 17, right? That was our first example. So, we said that 17 is 1 10 and 7 ones, right? Okay, so 17 is in between 10 and 20. If we're rounding to the tens, is it closer to 10 or is it closer to 20? Well, let's look at our roller coaster. Is the number in the ones, this number right here, is it 1, 2, 3, 4? Or is it 5, 6, 7, or 8, or 9? It's a 7, which means that we round up. So 17 is closer to 20. We can look at this on a number line, right guys? So if I make a number line, and I have 10, and I have 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So here's 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. And here is our number 17. Just by looking at this number line, is 17 closer to 20 or is it closer to 10? That's right, it's closer. Look how short this arrow is. It's closer to 20. So if Miss Gia says, I want you to round 17 to the nearest 10, the nearest 10 is 20. Okay, so we would say that 17 rounded to the nearest 20 is, to the nearest 10 is 20. Let's do some practice, okay? I will leave our roller coaster here so you can see it, and I'm going to write some numbers, and I want you to tell me what's the nearest 10. So is it closer to the 10 before or to the 10 after? Before we do that though, let's write all of the 10s from 0 to 100 in order. Count 10s with me. We have 0, then what's the next 10? 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, and 100. So if I give you a number like 36, what 10 is 36 closer to? Remember, you have two options. You either can say it's closer to 30 or it's closer to 40, because 36 is right here in between. So is it closer to 30 or to 40? What do you think? Yeah, it's closer to 40. Nice job, guys. So if Miss Gia asks you, I want you to round 36 to the nearest 10, it's closer to 40. So we say that 36 is closer to 40. All right, let's talk about what if the number is 71. What are the two options of 10s that we could round to? Well, 71 is between 70 and 80. So, is 71 closer to 70? Or is it closer to 80? What do you think? If you're confused, remember our roller coaster. So if the number in the 1 spot is a 1, 2, 3, or 4, we go down. But if it's a 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9, we go up. So this number in the ones category in 71 is a 1. That means we go down to 70. So if Miss Gia asks you, please round 71 to the nearest 10, then that means that you say, oh, Miss Gia, that's so easy. 71 is very close to 70, so the nearest 10 is 70. Let's try one more. I'm going to erase some of this stuff so we have room. Okay. So if Miss Gia gives you the number 55, what are the two options for tens that we could round to? This is a very important step, guys. Don't forget this step. We need to give ourselves two options. So if we go backwards, it would be 50. And if we go up, it would be 60. So can you tell me the number 55, is it closer to 60 or to 50? Number 5 is a tricky one when you have 5 in the ones place. But remember our roller coaster. So 1, 2, 3, 4 all go down, but 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 all go up. So that means that we are going up, and 55 rounds to 60. Very nice job. Okay, friends, you have a lot of practice, worksheets, and online games for rounding. And remember, this is new, okay? But if you just think about, there's only two options it can be. It can be the 10 before or the 10 after. And I know you guys are super good at counting at tens. We did a lot of practice with that in school, and you did practice with that in distance learning too. So when you're in doubt, first count your tens, and then think, okay, does this number go between these tens? Does it go between these tens? What are the two options? If it helps you, you can remember the roller coaster. You can make a number line. There are lots of strategies, all right? But don't stress out. We will talk about this in Zoom as well. So if you have any questions, bring them to class, okay? All right, friends. See you tomorrow. Great work. Bye.